Sixers fans, welcome back. Look, I am not going to go out on a limb here when I say I think Ben Simmons is the most important part to this Sixers team. I think he is the absolute X factor to determining whether or not the Sixers can reach all the way to the finals and eventually win the NBA Finals this year. The thing is, though, throughout the first two games, it seems like Ben Simmons is on a different level. I want to talk about this different level with you guys. I want to talk about what to expect out of Ben Simmons, what I'm expecting out of Ben Simmons, and I want to talk about what we absolutely need Ben Simmons to do. Before getting in the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Right now is the time to be subscribed. The time of your life. It's playoff time. All right, let's get into it. Ben Simmons is obviously known for a bad shooter. Not only that, is the man doesn't shoot the basketball. Ben Simmons has been historically and notoriously known for being the worst shooting point guard in modern NBA history. There's no doubt about that. But the thing is with Ben Simmons is he's not really a point guard. He is a transitional guard forward, a very versatile player who defends all five positions better than anybody I've ever seen since Kawhi Leonard. Ben Simmons does so much to an NBA team, and he's a very strong part as to why the Sixers were the #1 seed. But the difference between a #1 seed in the regular season and a finals team is we need guys to be able to step up. We need guys who are good to become great. We need guys who are great to become elite. We need guys to be consistent when they are at an MVP level. I think Joel Embiid is one of the most consistent players in the NBA. I mean, that's a reason why he's an MVP finalist. There's a reason why he's, been as incredible as he's been all year long. I don't think Sixers fans ever really have to worry about what to get out of Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid, that is. That one game he had, what was it, last year, that he had 0 points in Toronto? Yeah. Well, we're not going to see that again. I think Embiid knows his game, and he's so comfortable with his game that we don't have to worry about it. Tobias Harris, though he's not as good as Embiid, is probably more consistent than Embiid. He's probably the most consistent guy on the team. He is a 19-5-3 guy almost every single night. He's almost a 50-40-90 guy. Tobias Harris is really, really good at what he does. And a thing is, man, he has stepped his shit up over the first two games. So I think Tobias Harris is a guy to look at and be like, he could be one of those guys to really help us carry. But we can't just have one guy to step it up, especially when we have a future possible MVP in our midst. Ben Simmons is one of the highest potentials in the NBA, and the fact that he's kind of nowhere near it and he's still a top 15, 20 player in the league, it really shows a lot as to how good he could be. Over the first two games, Ben Simmons has been almost as to what we think he can be. He's been aggressive. He's been so good, and he doesn't give a shit about what people are saying about him. He's going out and he wants to win. He doesn't really want to be a part of the team. He wants to be the trendsetter, and he wants to be the floor guy. He wants to be the leader, and we have been asking for that for years now out of Ben Simmons. And I think what's such an important thing is to championship teams is this. Okay, I'm going to make an analogy, and I'm going to make an analogy, and I want you to hear it out before jumping to a conclusion. We need Ben Simmons to break out like a Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray playoff last year. I'm not saying we want Ben Simmons to score 50 points a night, because literally Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray did that like every single night. They just dropped 50 and shot like 10 for 10 from three. Not really, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying that about Ben Simmons. I'm saying we need him to break the hell out of his box. We need him to be just uber aggressive and just go wild like an animal. We need him to start reaching his potential right now. Right now. We don't need him dropping 50, but if Ben Simmons can give us 20 points, 8 and 8 a night, that makes the Sixers deadly. And not only that, he had 28 and 8 basically last game in 28 minutes. Imagine if we have to roll him out for 40 minutes. Ben Simmons could have had 35. He could have had 30. If Ben Simmons gives us a 30, 10, and 8 game, we're not ever going to lose that game. Ever. There will never be a time where we lose that game. That's something that I think Ben Simmons has the capability of doing. And for the first time in my entire life, and I hope to God I'm not speaking too soon, but I think Ben Simmons sees that. For the first time in my life, I think Ben Simmons is starting to realize what is needed out of him to make this team go from great to championship winning. And that is what excites me more than anything in this world. I know I am speaking far too soon. It is 2 games, and he had 6 points in the first game, and he still can't shoot free throws, and he's shown no progress to shoot the ball, really, outside of a little bit of a floater or whatever the hell that was. I know I sound crazy, but a part of me genuinely believes that Ben Simmons sees what we need out of him for the first time in that man's life. And I think Ben Simmons can do it. I think Ben Simmons, every single playoff, every single year, there are guys who just break out in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray. This year, Dylan Brooks seems like that guy. But there is always another guy. That guy can be Ben Simmons. And I think Ben Simmons is that guy. I think if Ben Simmons just imagine the potential of this NBA team if Ben Simmons just all of a sudden has figured it out. Has just figured out how to dominate a game without shooting the basketball. Imagine how good this team is. Imagine how far this team can go. That is what this run depends on. If Ben Simmons plays like regular season Ben Simmons, which is great but not elite, we're not going to win. But if Ben Simmons plays like he did last game and the game before, we will win this finals. I am so goddamn positive of that. That is what I want out of Ben Simmons. I want him to just take this so personal. I want him to take everything that anybody has ever said to him so personal just so he can go out and absolutely dominate. So we can actually, for the first time in my life, make me happy and win an NBA Finals. I swear, I will never say a bad thing about anybody on this team ever again except for Korkmaz if we win the Finals this year. I swear. I'm in the first round and we're up 2-0 and I'm already having this conversation with myself. I know. I need to relax. But seeing what it takes the Sixers to do, seeing what it takes, you know, out of the Sixers for us to reach that point and knowing that it's Ben Simmons, It's hard not to be excited because I think really for the first time in my life I can say I think Ben Simmons understands this. I think he gets what it takes to be the guy. I think he sees what it takes to win an NBA Finals, and I think he wants to win more than anybody else. I really do, and I hate the people who think like, nah, Ben Simmons doesn't care about winning, doesn't do this. He's the best defender in the NBA. You don't not care about the game if you're the best defender in the NBA. Defense is literally the most effort side of the game. Defense is where people take plays off and just don't care. And that's the guys who don't really want to win, and that's just the guys who aren't as good. But Ben Simmons tries harder on defense than anybody. He obviously cares. And I really do believe for the first time in my life, I think Ben Simmons is taking it personal. And I think Ben Simmons is understanding that he also needs to dominate the shit out of this game for the Sixers to go all the way. Because there will be times where we just need him to be uber aggressive. And I'm not saying I want him pulling 25-foot three-point jump shots. Because I don't. I mean, I do. A part of me will always want that. But I don't, you know? I want him to be aggressive. I just want him to get to the line, to bully his way on smaller guards, to get to the paint and just use his body. Because the man is freaking huge. Be huge. If you're huge, be huge. I think he is. I think he is, and I'm excited. I'm so excited for tomorrow's game to see if Ben Simmons continues the way he's been playing, because I think he just had the 2 best playoff performances of his entire life back-to-back to start a playoff. So maybe this year is his Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray breakout playoff season, and I am absolutely praying for it. Peace out. Go Sixers.